everyone, welcome to Flourish TV. My name is Stephanie, and Flourish TV is where I bring you business with a little bit of mindset. Today on Flourish TV, I'm going to talk about teaching you how to pick the right colors for your brand. So I talked about it a few weeks ago, or one of my very first Flourish TVs. I talked about how to make a branding kit inside Canva. But then I was thinking, how many of you, maybe you don't even know your colors yet. And so I thought, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's start back at the basics and talk about how we can choose the right colors for our brand. So maybe you are starting your own business and you want to make sure that people can find you. And so one of the things is having the specific colors that people will immediately be drawn to you. It was interesting. Yesterday I had a celebration from Canva. Apparently I've used it for 7 years, and it talked about the color that I use most, and it was green. And I thought that was surprising. But then I realized that it was probably about 6 to 8 months ago where I really came across the specific colors for my brand, which I have these different pink colors. So I'm wondering over time if that will change. But 7 years is a long time where I used random different kinds of fonts and all these different kind of colors. But what's really been kind of fun is being able to have that cohesive colors and brands. So today I thought we would just focus on the colors themselves and why it's important and how you can do that. And then we'll go from there. So we'll continue on. If you want to know a little bit more about how to create your whole full brand kit, like if you have your colors already set, just put Canva in the comments and I will get you the replay from that Flourish TV. But if you're just like brand new to this, then let's jump in and let's start picking colors. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let's say I know that I have a friend that just opened, she's kind of opening her own micro bakery. That's been a very trendy thing right now. So I think the word aesthetics is really good. So your color aesthetics instead of your brand, right? So something like that. So I thought let's do that because I know so many of you have stepped into that world, and I really give you a lot of props to be able to make that many baked goods, and I would probably want to sample them all day. But I thought, let's do that. Let's pick some colors, and I'll give you some tools. So I'm going to try to show you inside Canva, but I'm going to give you a few tools because I do have the pro version. But if you don't have this, I will try to give you a few tips along the way. And then at the end, I do have a checklist that I'll put together so you can walk through this yourself and be able to work through choosing your colors when you're not trying to do this live with me. So just put checklist in the comments and I will get that for you. So these are a couple different pictures that I found for inspiration. So let me put these different ones here, because I was just choosing something maybe that I would be more gravitated towards. Now you might be someone that is really into bold colors. So maybe you would choose, like lots of primary colors, or maybe like really bold, colorful flowers and things like that. You have your own brand, which makes you specific, makes you want to draw into those things. So I really liked the different colors that they all kind of seem similar to me. You could pick an image like this. Like these are some, other people's actually end up being, this is the same one and I didn't realize. So we could delete that. I just really, obviously I liked this girl's farm stand. So her micro bakery. So but you can see I kind of picked those themes. So maybe I do like green, but this gives you a lot of good color palettes so that you can choose how to choose the right colors for your brand or what you want to promote. So then you can use that not just for your sign or how like the stand looks, but then for your labels and for your flyers that you might do, or any graphics that you do to share about it. All of these things will be cohesive. And that's one reason why we want to choose brand colors, so that people, they see your color, they see those fonts, they see those specific things, and they're like, oh, that's you, that's Stephanie, or oh, that's that micro bakery. That's awesome. And that's how you want to be able to identify that. It also, it gives you some type of feeling or emotion. Like, so when we have specific colors, the colors can sometimes bring different emotions or feelings and stuff. I don't know what color green, I should check that out. Like blue is for trust, or pink is maybe compassion, or yellow is for joy. Like you see something, lots of yellow, like you see those sunflowers, in the fall, you're like, oh, you bring so much joy. So maybe you want to have a specific emotion that you want to bring out, when you're doing that. And then the other thing is clarity. That palette helps you just have that cohesive look. It keeps everything neat. It looks organized. It keeps everything across the platform. So whether you're on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or LinkedIn or wherever it is that you hang out, you everybody, you'll have those same colors. Everything will be cohesive. Everything will come together. So I think that's important to do that. So how do we pick the colors? Start with inspiration, which is what I have here. I grabbed a few different colors. You could do something completely different. Like I said, if it's more of something that you want to share or something that you would want to. I like bringing the green in because you're outside, and it makes me think of life. And so the green to me is appealing, and it's a good base color because green is all around us. But then you can have different colors that are going to make things pop, So maybe you really like some of the aspects, you like the black or the cream, that kind of makes you think of like the cookies or that. Or maybe you want more of a brown, or maybe you like the ideas of more just white and clean. And then you have the colors pop, or maybe use different, you can play around with it because it's yours, right? You get to play around with those designs. So, first thing you want to do is you can have an inspiration like this, or maybe you saw somebody else's stand, or you're in a magazine. When you can snap a picture of it and throw it into Canva. Now, if you have the pro version, this is really simple because you can go here and you can click the colors up here, and it will give you this little spot here where it has here, and you can have a color picker tool right here, and you can go and it will drag in all these different colors. So like if you really, really liked this red color, maybe you want to do that, you can add this into your color palette, as you can see. But maybe you are, if you don't have this, then I want to make sure, here's my brand kit. Then I want to make sure that you can find colors a different way. One of the things is Canva does automatically do this for you. So you can see of the 3 pictures here, it gives you, they're all pretty much the same, but these are the colors that Canva picks out for you as like basic colors. So if you are really not sure about design, this will definitely help you pull out the colors that it finds dominant. But, these are very dark. I like them, but I maybe want to make sure that I'm bringing in some of the lightness. So we want to use that as a base and be like, oh, I want to bring out the color or the specific color. So this is a good guide, but it doesn't do everything for you. So there are a few apps like Color Picker. I think it's Color Picker, but it's Color Picker, COLOUR picker.com. I think that has one. And Colors, COOLORS.co is another one that you can download. I did try the Color one, the COOLORS.com. And I did try that one, and that one does have a free, I'll show you it here. It had a really kind of cool tool where it goes through and you hit your space bar and it gives you different color palettes. And I believe you can go in and load a picture. I just didn't get that far to see. But you might be able to go in and load a picture. Let's see if yes, you can. So you can bring in a picture here. So we can bring this farm stand one up here and bring it in. And again, it does this, and then it allows you to pick the different colors. So it will show you these different things. So, so you can maybe add these in as a color. So I don't know how to use the app, but it was free. So I'm sure there's an expanded version, but I just wanted to show you that. And if you have any questions about the ones that I'm sharing about, just put colors in the comments and I will try to get that to you. So one of the things that I have learned over time is it's called the 60-30-10 rule. So this 60-30-10 rule allows you to pick colors that are, you have a primary color, a secondary color, and then an accent pop color. Now, typically you have more colors than that, but you want those 3 main colors. And that's what really happens a lot when you, when I have my brand kit, really you see these are the 3 main ones that I use, but then I do have this pink, which is a little different shade. I have the gray, I have this a little bit darker gray, a black, and then I can bring in this other rosy color. So these colors, this one, I don't know why it's in there, but you can kind of see the palettes are kind of there. I have my Faceless account, and so I had played with that, and I use mostly these, and this one, but not so much the other one. So, and those need to be updated a little bit over time. So this is where you can create your palette. And then once you have it, let's say we like this, one way that you can do this is just choose a different colors, choose a different shape. I just chose a circle here. And you can start recording these for yourself by putting this color. And when you when you come over here to color, and you put your mouse right over it, it gives you this hex code. And so what you would do, I would it's not, you can't copy and paste them, unfortunately, but just to make this simple, this should happen for, inside Canva, or when you have the colors, it'll give you that hex code. And what I would do is I would write it down, and then I would place that in a text box or put it right in here and list the name of the hex code, so that no matter what platform you're using, you would know, hey, I really like this. So let's say, like, oh, I want to do this. I don't really like any of these colors. So I would probably want to choose maybe there's like a different green that I really like. So maybe I like this one. And so I obviously didn't make another circle, but now this will have this hex code in there. So does that make sense? Hopefully that does. And what I would do is I would just keep adding your circles in here. So then you can line them up, and then you would have all your different hex code colors. I probably would just copy it. I don't know why I didn't do that, but you could just duplicate this here and then just line them up. However, I'm not making design, I'm not making it look pretty, but you get the idea. So you can come in and I want to change this color, and then you can pick another color. Hey, I want to make sure I have a really good cream color. So again, you would do this with your color picker if you don't have Canva, but maybe you definitely want to have like a lighter color that you would use. So the three things is 60% is a primary color. So it's dominant, visual, used for your backgrounds, major elements. Okay. So the 30% is a secondary color, which is a complementary or contrasting tone, like maybe your buttons or sections or different things. And then the 10% is an accent pop color. Like I brought out this pink color. So maybe I really want to have this one as another color. I'm not saying these are the colors I would choose, but maybe this is what my palette is. Okay. So then, those colors look nice together. They're all drawn from these photos so that you can see, oh, okay, maybe that's what I want. And so that will give you your base colors. And so there's 3, there's 4. I usually do have about 6 or so that I use, but generally I would use those 3. And then you usually have like a black or a navy or something like that darker color, maybe for like your words or your scripts, or maybe you use white like this one has here. So that gives you an idea. And then I had shown this before, that you can go in and create a whole mood board when you have all of your colors and things. So like you can see, these are my main colors. These are some of my pictures of inspiration, things that I use, the fonts that I use, and all that. So if you need help with that, just put brand in the comments. We can either have a call, a one-on-one call, and I can show you, we could talk about what you need and I can help you design that, or I can give you some other some tips, or just we could really talk through what you want to create and see if I can help you create the brand that you want. So so that's really the main part about that. But I wanted to talk before we went is just about a few different things to watch out for, some cautionary or common mistakes. Sometimes we tend to choose very trendy. Like I definitely think that these colors, like this trendy, very much farmhouse kind of trend, and it's okay if that's what you want, but you just want to make sure that you are thinking for the long term. So you want to make sure that the things that you're picking, like I know gray was really, really popular for the longest time, and I do have a lot of gray in my house. I still like how it looks. It's very clean, but it's very dated, just like you look at different colors over the time. So maybe keep that in consideration. You want to make sure that the colors that you're choosing would work along the test of time, so that you're choosing some, but honestly, it's your brand. You choose what you want to choose, but just make sure you keep that in mind, that you maybe don't go too trendy. And then you don't want to have too many bold colors. So you want to make sure that, you don't want like this green and then like a navy blue and then like all these like really dark colors and then not have any light colors in there. You don't want too many bold colors, like that can be distracting and you don't know where your eye doesn't know where to look, and it loses focus. And then just make sure of your contrast. So obviously when I was saying, like here, they're using like the light colored font on these signs that they made, or whatever, the paint or whatever, but we want to make sure that, see how they change. This is a really good example. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So you can see that, they have this, whatever this grayish color is, and then they have white words, but then here they have black because that stands out. If they would have put this on the white, obviously it wouldn't be seen, and same, the black on the black. So, it seems common sense, but you want to keep that in mind. And you also want to remember that there are people sometimes, you really like the colors, but there's not enough contrast on it, and then people can't read it. So if you have somebody that has maybe more difficulty seeing things, then you want to make sure that there's enough contrast so that they are able to actually see what you're sharing, because you don't want to spend all this time making content and making logos and create flyers if people aren't able to read it. So that's just a good thing to keep in mind as you're creating that. So and then the next thing, like once you have the colors down, you have your inspiration, you can make like a brand board like I did there. And then you can also do Trello, like that's my favorite. And I also have a tutorial about Trello on how you can use that. But here is one that I have started for my brand. So I have all my different logos that I'm using. These are like my colors overall inside my brand kit inside Canva. And then I actually just put all of the colors here too, just so I can grab them quick if I want to see them. I have all my fonts listed here, and then I have some other graphics that I'm using, descriptions and different things. So you can put a whole mood board together, a brand board together, which will help you as well. I understand now why colors are important, why we want to have colors so that we can have that cohesive brand so people know how to find us and they see us. We want the hard work that we've put inside our business, whether it's a physical business or an online business. We spend a lot of time creating content and sharing the things that we can and bringing our products to life. So we want to make sure that we are standing out and people know who we are and how to find us. And we want to be able to have them see those colors or see those specific visualizations that come across, on their social media or wherever you're posting. You want to make sure that they know it's you, right? So this is important to do that. Look at the different things that you're drawn to. Maybe it's photos like on Pinterest or something like that. Maybe there's something outside. Like maybe there is a garden that you just think is beautiful and you love all those vibrant colors. Maybe you use that. Take a picture of that and put that and see what the color picker brings out for you. And maybe that's what you can base your brand colors on. And I'm talking business, but maybe there's an inspiration for a room or something, and you need those brand colors. You can use the same concept. It doesn't have to be for a business, but I'm just gearing it towards that. And then remember that 60-30-10 rule, making sure that there is that balance, that there is that contrast, and making sure you write down those hex codes, because it will help you in the long run. Because believe me, I'll be in something else and it'll be super frustrating because I'm like, I don't have them memorized, and then I'll go in and would have to search for it and go inside Canva. So if you have everything in one place, you could have them printed out. You could have your mood board printed out, or have everything in your Trello board so you know exactly where to find it. Put it in your notes in your phone so that you have those colors, but you have those hex codes. It makes it really simple. So just think about how you want your brand to feel, how you want it to look, and you will start really providing that cohesive brand, because it's important. I want to make sure that, like I said, all the hard work that you put together, creating your business and really working hard and sharing the things that you've learned, you want to be able to be recognized, and this will help you. So if you have any questions, please make sure that you about all the different things I've taught. If you want the tutorial about how to make your branding kit inside Canva, then you can put Canva in the comments. If you want some more help, if you're like, I have a business and I really need some help creating that logo or creating the brand colors, like I'm just confused, or I'm just not a color person, I just want to make sure that people know who I am and how to find me, put brand in the comments and we can have a free one-on-one call. Just talk through what you want to create and see how I can help you. And then before you go, I want to make sure that you grab that checklist. If you want the checklist of kind of how to walk through all these different things without a bunch of me talking, I can definitely send that put checklist in the comments and I will get you the replay. So I hope this is helpful. I really love doing these Flourish TVs. If there's anything that you would like to know, please put that in the comments. Let me know. Send me a message on Instagram at steph.book. Send me a DM in Messenger. I don't care. Just you grab my attention and say, hey, please teach me how to do this. And if I know how to do it, I would love to teach you. So friends, please remember that you are worthy and capable of living a full and flourishing life. Success isn't just possible. It's meant for you. Take care.